So the 4th of July and the dates around it are historically supposed to be really busy for Magic Kingdom. But since I had access, I decided I would try and see how much I could get done in roughly 8 hours at Magic Kingdom on July 6th. You know, the first Saturday after July 4th. I started at just after 12:30 p.m., so let's get going. I will say I had zero plans in starting this at all, other than grabbing a virtual queue once it hit 1 p.m. It's actually why I cut my Pooh Bear footage short. Once I was off of Pooh Bear and had a virtual queue for Tiana's, I went over to the Teacups. After getting thoroughly dizzy, I went into Storybook Circus to ride some of the shortest waits in the park, starting with the Stormer. Then I went and rode on Dumbo, which had both sides opened, allowing for a near instant ride as everyone went left and I went right. So, about an hour into my day, I had already been on 4 rides. I went over to Journey of the Little Mermaid and checked on the interactive crabs before knocking out a 5th ride. Since I was looking for Magic Band Plus functionality, I went and watched Enchanted Tales with Belle. After the show, I managed to get in line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and only waited about 40 minutes. Which meant that New Fantasyland was completely done. I walked over to Tomorrowland, skipping Tomorrowland Speedway as it was pretty hot and I didn't want to be out in the direct sun. Instead, I went and got in line for Space Mountain. Using the Play Disney app, I played the game in the queue until a cast member asked if there was a party of 1 once I had gotten through the long hallway, allowing me on the ride after about 20 minutes waiting. My next stop was People Mover, as the ride was actually longer than the wait for once. After enjoying the sights from the interconnected ride, I went and rode Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, which, if you've watched my channel at all, you know is my favorite ride in the park and across Disney World property. I of course got Galactic Hero, but I had to sacrifice recording to do it. With Astro Orbiter only having a 10-minute wait, I jumped into the line and was once again pulled forward due to being solo. I left the ride about 4:45, having knocked out everything in Tomorrowland except for the Speedway and Tron, which I didn't have a virtual queue for. But I was very close to being called for Tiana's, so I made my way over to Frontierland. With 10 rides and 1 show knocked out, this is where things started going south. I walked over to Tiana's fully expecting to be called before I got there, but lost several minutes just standing around as opposed to getting on Big Thunder Mountain, which at the time had an okay, maybe 15-ish minute wait. Once I was in the queue, I realized there was still a chance of getting a Tron virtual queue, so I put in for it, getting group 157. Then after about half an hour in line, Tiana's went down after I got through the merge point. I stuck around for a bit hoping that it would be a quick fix, but ultimately gave up as I was running out of time. So I made my way over to Adventureland for Pirates of the Caribbean. As always, I ended up in the last row because that's the solo row apparently. But I did get fresh footage of the Magic Band Plus effect for the ride, and it actually extended out into the boat battle for once. Once I got through Pirates, I rushed over to Jungle Cruise. It was a great time. I saw animals and got sacrificed by the Jungle Cruise skipper. I then went on the last spinner of the park, the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Ended up having to wait 2 cycles despite the 5-minute posted wait, so I absolutely lost time doing this. But with the exception of Tiki Room, I was also able to complete Adventureland. Running very low on time, I sped walked to Peter Pan's Flight, since it is about to close for a refurbishment. I'm not sure the exact day. Might be the day, actually. It had a posted 40-minute wait, but there was a 5-minute technical delay, so it took a bit longer. After that, I rushed over to Tron to pass my boarding group onto my sister. Everything accounted for, I managed to get on 14 rides and watch 1 show, plus I got in 2 virtual queues after 1 p.m. So yeah, July 6th wasn't necessarily a dead day in the park, but it was absolutely not anywhere close to what it should have been. This used to be one of the absolutely do not go to Disney times, and now I'm not so sure. If you can take the heat, it might be worth a trip on the next year. July 4th doesn't lead into the weekend, so not 2025 because July 4th is on a Friday, but you know, whatever the next year is. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so I know this is the kind of content you want to see. That's it for now though, so I'll see you real soon. Bye!